was a, as I tried to say, say that like it's like a protest that is looking for a new lion, actually. It's not to come out of the cave, but because the lion who was in charge of the cave did not take care of the people inside the cave. Now the people want to have a new lion to take care of the cave. So that's the kind of situation. So in that sense, there had been like moments, like little moments of solidarity that has come out from the protesters, solidarity towards the Tamils and the Muslims. But those are not the dominant kind of political idea that basically governs the ongoing protest. The ongoing protest is basically, for example, the reason. It's a simple reason I'm telling. Simple example, actually. It's like the entire protest revolves around the slogan that the Rajapakshas are thieves. They are corrupt and they have stolen money. But the most important factor about Rajapaksha, the most important factor to characterize Rajapaksha has been totally ignored. And that characteristic is basically Rajapaksha, the killer. They don't use the slogan, Rajapaksha, the killer has to go out. They say Rajapaksha, the thief has to go out. And the reason is actually, there's a fear, if we call him a killer, then we'll have to tell whom they killed, whom he killed, or whom the family basically politically led to kill. And that will be the Tamils. So the Tamils have been campaigning since 2009. Rajapakshas, the government that is run by Rajapakshas, have committed the crime of genocide. And the military officers who were under the command of Gotabaya Rajapaksa has committed war crimes and crimes against humanity. Now, these slogans will get some kind of validity or legitimacy if the Sinhalese start saying the Rajapaksa is a killer. And that is one of the reasons, in my opinion, why this slogan, the killer slogan, Rajapaksa is a killer slogan, does not come into the forefront. That is the reason. Because there's a feeling, even though we are suffering at the moment, our slogans should not benefit the others, actually, like the Tamils or the Muslims. This thing is quite it's a problem, actually. It's quite a deep problem, and there are people, I have to admit also, I have to admit that there are people who have understood this and who are trying to push this the crimes that were committed against the Tamil people, for example, who are trying to push these allegations against Rajapakshas, but they are not a majority in the protest campaigns. They are a minority. So still, even though there's a strong anti-Rajapaksha feeling, that's why I said there's a strong anti-Rajapaksha feeling about nepotism, about corruption, about the amount of money they might have stolen, but there's no opposition to Rajapaksha for the killings they have done, for the crimes that, monumental crimes, colossal crimes they have committed. That has not been kind of a prominent slogan in the protest campaigns. And the reason is actually, I think, because the Sinhala Buddhist chauvinist ideas are still intact, actually. These ideas are still intact. And so because of that, the fear that others will benefit out of our opposition to the government is also that fear is also there. And that fear determines what the slogan should be and what the slogan should not be. So the Tamils have been continuously campaigning, and there had been attempts made in the recent weeks, as far as I know. There had been meetings between some of the Tamil people and some of the anti-government protesters, just to communicate what the Tamils see as a problem in the protest campaign. The Tamils have basically told the Tamil activists what we see as a problem in the campaign. And Sinhalese have been told the reason that we are a little bit reluctant to join the campaign is because we are not clear what you actually think about the rise of the Tamil people. And that has been told to the Sinhalese. And I don't know how they have taken it and how they are going to work on that. And if they take it positively, and if they consider it positively, and work accordingly, that would be a game changer. But for the moment, there's no sign of it, to be honest. There's no sign of it. As once, I think it was one of the participants, Shifana, she was in one of the meetings and she said, the problem with the protest is actually they means the Sinhala protesters want the Muslims and the Tamils to come to the protest and to bring their cultural identity. That the Muslim women wear the parda, or they can wear the hijab or anything like a cultural symbol, and the Tamils come with the pottu and they can come with the flowers in their hair and all these things, but not the political identity, because they want the cultural identity to be in the protest site, because then everybody thinks it's a united struggle. But if they bring the political identity, that means the slogans that they have been fighting for all these years, the Tamils have their own slogans, the Muslims have their own slogans. If they bring this political identity, that would create a problem, and that would actually be a challenge to the Sinhala protesters to look at it and to take a position. And so that we don't see up till now, that we can't see.